long time. This is something I learned from one of my mentors a few years ago as I'm gathering research and coming into all of this information, seeking the truth, is you, if you want to critique someone or something accurately, you need to go to the source, right? And you need to represent this opposing view accurately, right? And again, majority of humans go by what they hear and what sounds good to them. A lot of things really do sound good surface level, but once you begin to dig deeper into it, you find out that's not truly what it is. On this journey, right, which has led me to Catholicism, um, seeking out the truth of Christianity, my mentor said you need to go to the source, and the source will lead you to one of five. It will lead you to five, generally like five places, right? And one of those places happened to be the Catholic Church, right? The Catholic Church, the Eastern Orthodox, Coptic, Assyrian Church of the East, and perhaps the Armenian Church, right? So this is where my journey led me to, was the apostolic churches when we're trying to dissect the truth of Christianity. But this logic can be applied to anything really, or any other religion. When talking and debating and doing polemics against Muslims and Islam, it was really it became clear that there was no conversation to be had if you can't pin down what a person truly believes, because you can't just blanket everyone into the same category because everyone doesn't share the same beliefs within Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, any group really, right? There's really no religious group that is monolithic. So a large part of my research has been diving into different denominations or sects to accurately represent each person's belief correctly. Now, I had been receiving a lot of flack when I had my TikTok page up, because people just simply don't like when you critique Islam, and they didn't like my style or my methods. But the fact is that my methods worked. They absolutely worked. People didn't like it, right? Because I mean, let's be honest. Uh, the truth sucks, and the truth is harsh. It's hard to hear, and it's even harder to accept. And I feel for people, right? Especially Muslims. When let's say you have been leading and following, a religion for 20, 30, 40 years of your life, and then you come to find out that this whole thing has been a lie, and you find this information out from a kid or someone who's significantly younger than you, right? You're gonna be offended, right? You're gonna feel like a complete dumbass, right? No offense, but yeah, that's a really hard pill to eat. And for a long time, some of the people closest to me hated me for doing this. But recently, I have noticed a complete shift. I used to go hard on these people. And on the outside, it looked like I was pushing these people away. Hello, Kenny. What's up? Looked like I was pushing these people away. But over time, as we continue to talk, um, it was revealed to me that these people came to the conclusion that I was right. And again, they didn't like my methods, they didn't like how I'd said things, but it was the truth. And they came to the conclusion that I was right about everything that I had been telling them. Um, so again, be sure that when you're doing polemics or critiquing anything, that you're accurately representing people's beliefs and that you're going to the source. This was a complete epiphany of mine when discussing Islam, is that you can really break Islam into two pieces, right? Classical Islam and modern Islam, right? Or progressive Islam. And let the person decide for themselves. But really, if you want the truth about any religion, you have to go to the source, the earliest writings, right? Because they're closer to the beginning of this thing. And also, something to think about, right? When we have all of these, I guess, newer editions of a particular religion, right? Or as I like to call them, like the remix, do we truly believe that this is what this religion is or what it teaches, right? When these beliefs came a couple years ago, are we going to go with the interpretation of someone 20 years ago, 50 years ago, 200 years ago? Or are we going to go with the interpretation from 1,000, 2,000 years ago from these people who are much closer to the sources and the prophets that we're discussing? Logically, which one makes more sense? Are we going to go with the information 1,000 years ago, or are we going to go with the information from 10 years ago? I would say go to the source, right? That's like if someone were to, let's say someone wrote two biographies of your life, right? Let's say you die in 2025. Who's going to have a more accurate representation of your life? Is it one of your friends who knew you? Or are we going to go with some random person who wrote about you 500 years after your death? Logically, which one makes more sense? Which person would you go with? Sorry, Taha, I do not speak Arabic, or I cannot read Arabic because I don't have my translator here on this app. And again, this isn't just a shot for Muslims, right? Because I find the hardest people to talk to, right, are people from my own camp. Okay, not from my camp, but from my religious group, other Christians, specifically Protestant Christians. Like, how arrogant do we have to be to think that your conception is the correct one when your interpretations came a couple hundred years ago, and this religion that we claim to be following was established roughly 2,000 years ago. Like, come on, let's think things through clearly. Clearly, something is wrong here.